Ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn, the modern day overhaul mod for Hearts of Iron. We are Poland, indivisible and unconquerable. And that's all I could think of off the top of my dome. Welcome back to the channel, folks. Hope everyone's doing well. I am, of course, Liquid Hotshot, your host. In the last few episodes, we've been grafting when it comes to investments. We have invested 37.76 billion. Billion with a B. Because of my Yorkshire accent, some people think it's lower than that. And we have had the likes of Germany invest into 3 civs and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's the full name of the country I live in. Invest into 2 civilian thingamadoodlers, industry sectors, whatever you want to call them. We also did, we're talking like episode 4 of 5 maybe. We clicked this button, dig for more resources. So when in 13 days we are going to have maybe another 8 billion worth of debt, but we're going to have more resources in the country, thus hopefully prompting other countries who have good relations with us to buy said resources, and thus in turn we make more money, and then more money means everything's great. Another civilian industry. Do you know what? I'm going to accept, because I think for the time being having 6 of each. So 6 are currently being built, right? Let's just scroll back up to the top. 3 from Germany, 3 from the UK. Influence-wise, the UK is lower than 5%, and Germany's influence is going to be going down because we are attacking their influence, which is going to go down by 5%. So we are going to have, in how many days is it now? Like let's say like a year and a half, right? We're going to have 6 new brand spanking top of the line civilian factories. That's going to help our economy massively, may I just add. And then we can obviously construct our own buildings faster. Construct our own building faster means we can make more money, and it's like a snowball effect, right? If you've ever gone to the shop with a £10 note or a €10 note, and you pay for a loaf of bread and some milk, right? You give the shopkeeper some money. He uses that money to pay his wages. With those wages, he goes to a different shop with said money, and the cycle just continues. It's a snowball. One thing leads to another and another and another, and everything. It's good for everyone, right? That's what we're looking to do here. And digging for more resources is also part of that. Also, we're building a satellite, which I think is just really cool. Building 1. I don't know if that's just going to allow us to have our own understanding of everything. We are going to say no to the UK on that one. And we have more resources because we are minus 7 billion in the hole, and then when the next day ticks, I believe that'll just go into debt, right? Or not? At the end of the week, perhaps? Just watch it a little closely. I am confused. just a little bit. I could have swore that would have just gone straight into... Aha! So it has to wait for the weekly tick and puts it into debt. Not a problem. Canada wants to give us satellites. We're just going to say no. For the time being, we don't need satellites. Not right now, anyway. Because we have satellite communications, recon, and the global nav system. I don't know what you get from having no debt, but I know that if you have low, well, not low debt, but if you have like British trade delegation has arrived in our capital. This will only increase our economic ties to the UK. So does that mean they get like more influence on us, or like what's the sitch? Oh, we can propose a trade agreement to the UK. Cool, 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 cool. No, thank you. I've completely lost my train of thought. So with like the satellite communication, that's the thing. We get infrastructure, route construction speed. So at the minute, this is getting done quicker than it usually would, which I'm here for. I think at some point as well, now that we are producing tanks, we should ideally look at like these divisions. But realistically, like our production just isn't cutting it to be able to produce like all the different like self-propelled artillery, self-propelled rocket artillery, like the MLRS systems, like, and all that sort of thing. UK's at 6%. We'll like let them go top 3. Don't know why Japan's like has such a big influence, but hey ho. Let's target Japan's influence in Slovakia. The Czechs are also now influencing the Slovakians. Don't know how that's going to work out for them. Let's spread a bit of influence in the Czech Republic. They are one of our borders, so it's only right. They are in the EU and they are a NATO member. Oh no, they're just a NATO member. They're not actually an EU member. Okay. And I figured out in the last episode that those were national focuses. Well, not focuses, but more like national spirits. There we go. We go. Cheaper weapons. So from 6.4, we're now making 6.73. 1995 rifles per day. And we're here for it. Research bonus for all tanks go down here. We've got headquarters reform. And then, what do you get down here? Military interventions, European Guardian. Radar station. Radar station. If I look here, you have a radar station. What do you do? Is it just like a regular vanilla radar station? Nothing fancy about it? Yeah, gain intel on enemy troops in nearby states. Provides detection enemy air forces, giving your aircraft a better chance to engage them. And enemy fleets at sea. Yes, yeah, so it's just the bog standard shit, right? Cool. So let's secure the political landscape. Go more western. Because we are at 65% popularity. I believe that is the highest it's ever been. Over 4% higher than it was, or just over 3 years ago now, because the election was in, or just under 3 years, sorry. It was in October 2000 was the election. Increased consumer confidence. That's what we like to see. Recent conditions within the Polish economy has shown the consumer that now is the perfect time to spend money and make investments. People are buying up goods like they never have before. Lovely. We get extra tax revenue. Construction speed is increased. Stability is increased. And if we let a day tick by, that will refresh from stable growth to fast growth, I believe. If we let the day tick. There we go, fast growth. So that is a plus 25% construction speed on what we already had. The stability is great, and the extra tax revenue, we will be rolling in it. And that's just going to increase the popularity because more money, like we said at the start of today's episode. More money, more problem. No, I'm joking. That's not really a problem having more money. It just means people are spending more, and thus everything's great. And so I didn't read this the last time. So we built some, I believe, what is this? Network infrastructure in Pomerania. Didn't see this at the start, but each level gives me plus 5% construction speed in that state. So if we come and have a look here, we have, so that's an extra 10% in this one state, 10% here, 10% here, 10% in Warsaw. I think potentially, because I know for a fact it takes, obviously it costs money to upkeep, but what I want to do is, it would make sense to me to invest in all the states where it's plus a 5 to make it a plus 10, and then we do the capital state plus, or we'll do it the other way around actually. We'll get to the plus 15% on the capital, then everything else works up to a 2, and then that's a nice just bonus as time's moving forward in this episode, and just in this save in general. That's going to be done back end of July. That's great. Our office sector is coming along nicely in Bratislava, or in Nizinia in Slovakia. And then we've got a civilian industry in Karpaty. Now you've got to, I'm apologising for my pronunciation of these states. I know I'm probably not doing you guys a justice, because I am, in fact, butchering your historical names for states and cities and stuff, so I do apologise. Okay, we are very skeptical about the euro. 25%. I think the last time we looked at it, we were at 15%, right? Just gonna decline that from Germany. Ooh, I have a question now. Oh, I can. But if I have the military-industrial complex active, which is, wait for it, I'm remembering, chat. No, it's not. That's not the thing. Is it a decision? No. Is it a national focus? Ooh. If I type in complex, No. Ooh, I know where I might have seen it, chat. I thought I saw it here, but evidently not. Military industrial. Oh. No? I'm really wondering where I saw that then the last time I did see it. Unless I'm tweaking and I never saw it in the first place. Which could well be possible. Alright, get that back under 200 billion in debt. Happy about that. Actually, the more I pay this off, the better like my economy's gonna be anyway, because less of my money's getting paid for interest. That means more money we can invest. It's just good news, because the actual GDP per capita hasn't increased much. Because I remember in my last recording session, it like jumped to 22,500 per capita. Auto influence. Push consumers spend less. Okay. Hopefully this will decline. And did we go down? Yeah, we did. But I'm happy. A little bit of fast growth never hurt anyone. So we now know what ICBMs are, or ballistic missiles. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, though. Yes, sir. It's all about having these things to make sure, like, no one decides to, you know, be like, actually, I want all your stuff. Decline that from the UK. So we are getting influence here in the Czech Republic. We're at 7.6%. We get influence as well from just investing. Now they are 100 billion in debt, so they're about half of us. They make their GDP per capita is high, like twice as high as us, and they have like half the GDP as well. So like they're just naturally having a better life than ourselves. So I'm thinking like we stay away from investing in high GDPs or like per capita. Or like maybe at least areas where there's nothing. Because naturally their GDP is low because they're a smaller sized country, but their GDP per capita is higher because they have less population. That's how that works, right? I think. Okay, Swiss neutrality is still neutral. Big whoop, never saw that coming. Yeah, so Germany's back at 8.86%. And the UK is around the same. The US is back up in first when it comes to influencing us, even though they can't really influence us that strong. It's basically like, yeah, man, bullying's bad, dude. Oh, that seems like a big event. Ukraine proposes the Baltic Black Sea ideals. The Baltic Black Sea Union is a concept similar to the intermaritime concept headed from Poland long ago. It speaks of a defensive alliance that would be of countries that are between the Baltic and the Black Seas. The countries would cooperate and consolidate themselves into a power bloc that would support one another. The saying goes for strength in numbers. This allows for mutual guarantees through the Ukrainian tree. Sure, I mean, granted they are with the Russians, but if we can get a good guarantee out of the Ukrainians, that'd be great. And saying like, oh yeah, the Ukrainians are with the Russians, that's kind of wild as well in 2023. I'll accept just a little bit more. Because you've got to think, right? All this button clicking, it's going to pay off by this time 2004. I just thinking like, why does it take so long to build in other countries? Like, do you know what I mean? Maybe that's something to do with our something to do with words, Luke. Something to do with our civilian count. I'm literally staring at the tab, and I'm like, I wonder what the word is for that thing that I'm thinking about. I wonder. Myanmar cracks down on protests. Oh no. Not the Vietnamese. Damn, what? 64%. Bro, China owns more of your country than you do. And you're losing 880 million a week. Your GDP as well is super low. Super low. But the thing is, right, they're probably having protests because they've got so much debt, right? They're not making any money, like, whatsoever. Their country basically isn't their own, and they probably can't even put the tax up. Feels bad, man. India is, of course, a major power. We're not quite getting there. We need to contribute. Okay, so for us to become a major power, so as long as we're producing more than 0.2% of the world's GDP, we're going to be a minor power. But for us to be a major power, we need to be producing 2.5%, which is roughly like it's just more. It's more than 10 times what we're already looking at here. So it's a bit of a struggle, bit of a struggle. Let's go tank upgrades because we are falling behind just a little bit in that department. An office sector in Mazovia. Where's Mazovia? Mazovia. Oh, it's my capital state. Sure, you can build an office. Okay, so I think we should probably get like a defense company. because we are now going like down the military focus tree because we're still like pre 2005. And armor, I think, is going to be where it's at. Now, it's a case of what do I want in my armor. If I go Obrum, I get extra breakthrough. Main battle tanks get extra armor reliability. Recon tanks get piercing reliability. APCs, breakthrough. IFVs, breakthrough. And then utilities get defense. I think that is just... Unless I want to go, like, main battle tanks. But then again, like, that just does it all. So we're going to go Obrum. It just makes sense to me. Turn off all of these auto tickers. And we're at 70% approval. Which is nothing to scoff at as well, considering like we're almost like 10% higher than what we were at the start. I think as we just become more popular as well, naturally other parties just become less popular because the LPR last episode was at 19%. And they're at 15%. So we're getting closer to that like 50% margin as well, which is good, which would just mean we wouldn't need a coalition. But we will still have to see. It's still got like just over 2 years until the next general election. So like ideally it's not even a problem right now. But with that being said, guys, I think that's been a decent episode, if I must say so myself. Went down the military side of things, had a little chat, a little bit of a economic boom, and we've got kind of like a plan going on for our infrastructure in the country, considering now we have Wi-Fi here in Poland. And yeah, once all these get done, like everything will just construct faster wherever I want to build it, which is obviously like for an investment for paying for these, it pays off in the fact that everything's just that little bit quicker. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed today's episode, drop a like down below. Subscribe if you feel like it. It's not, you don't have to, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.